Okay, let's dive into this incredible business playbook. We're going to break down a strategy for building a company from the ground up, but with a really radical twist and a pretty ambitious goal.
So what's the target? We're talking about generating roughly 28,000 US dollars in revenue. That's 672 million Vietnamese dong. I mean, that's a seriously impressive goal for any new company.
And here's the kicker, the really wild part. The plan is to hit this 9-month revenue goal with just a single director. No staff, no office, no of the usual overhead. So you got to be asking, how on earth is that even possible? Well, the answer all starts with one pretty radical strategic decision. It's something that completely flips the script on how you think about building a team. The whole idea here is to just forget traditional hiring. Instead, this model proposes using powerful AI tools to do literally all the work. We're talking content creation, marketing, customer service, even sales. Everything, all managed by just one person. Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting. When you start looking at the economics of it all, the cost structure is just completely turned on its head. Let's break down these costs. On one hand, you've got the massive and, let's be honest, unpredictable costs of a human team, right? You've got salaries, benefits, office space, the whole shebang. But on the other hand, you've got this super lean, totally predictable, and incredibly low cost of an AI workforce. So who are these employees? Well, according to the source material, your core team members are the premium versions of ChatGPT and Gemini. Each one costs about $20 a month. So over the entire 9-month project, the total cost for your core team is just $360. Think about that for a second. Your entire workforce costs less than a decent plane ticket. And this chart, man, it just perfectly shows you the leverage you get. Even if you add in a few other tools, the source estimates the total AI cost is still under $1,000. Now, compare that tiny little bar to the director's potential 70% share of the revenue, which could be over $17,000. The return on investment is just staggering.
Okay, so you've got this super lean AI-powered company. Awesome. But how do you actually find customers? Well, that brings us to the digital sales strategy.
The playbook lays out a pretty classic digital sales funnel. You start by running some targeted Facebook ads. The idea is to get your message in front of thousands and thousands of potential customers, day in and day out. Now let's talk numbers, because this part is really crucial and honestly a little sobering at first. Based on real-world examples in the source, out of everyone who sees an ad, only about 1.6% actually get interested enough to click or join a group or ask a question. That is a tiny, tiny sliver of the audience. So yeah, that number looks low, right? But the playbook sees this as a huge opportunity. The key is to use your AI workforce to just churn out better content, more articles, more engaging video clips, sharper ad copy, all designed to boost that conversion rate up to a target of 10%. All right, this next part, this is where the strategy goes from clever to, honestly, kind of genius. It's not just about selling a product, it's about the entire philosophy behind what you're selling and why. The source uses this incredible analogy to describe the first products you sell. They're not really what they seem to be. You could say they're a way to get inside the castle walls. So what does that even mean? It means the very first things you offer, like, say, an AI that helps manage your finances, they aren't the real end goal. They're designed to solve one small, specific problem, and most importantly, just get a foot in the door. And once that AI tool is in someone's life, once it's actually helped them and proven its value, that's when trust gets built. From that position, it can start to understand what that family really needs. You know, the deeper challenges, the bigger desires that go way beyond that first little product. And that leads to this. This is maybe the most important line in the whole playbook. The entire strategy shifts. You stop pushing a product you've already made, and you start providing a perfect, tailored solution. You're not guessing what people want anymore. Your AI friend has already figured it out for you. Okay, so let's pull all this together. What are the core principles that make this whole thing work? Because it really is a totally different way of thinking about starting a business. First up, start with zero capital. Use your brain, not your wallet. Number 2, build your entire team with AI. Third, stand on the shoulders of giants. Use the amazing free platforms that companies like Google and Facebook give you. And finally, the big one, relentlessly, obsessively, focus on solving your customers' true needs. This whole playbook is just a fascinating peek into a new frontier of business. It's lean, it's powerful, and it's all driven by technology and a really deep understanding of the customer. It kind of leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought to chew on. If you could have an entire workforce of AI, what problem would you solve first?